Now, like so many wild animals, they're in terrible danger.
The future of the wildlife of Africa is in guarded fortresses at the end of the day.
3 years ago, an extraordinary mission began to bring lions back to a remote Kenyan wilderness.
For those that know and those that care, this is a massive moment.
And from day one, I've had the privilege of being a witness to this story.
He is so handsome.
It's one that stirred deep childhood memories.
I do remember the excitement when she reappears and then those cubs appear.
Brought great highs.
God, he doesn't know what's going to hit him, does he?
And awful lows. This is the true story of one animal's big adventure and one man's dream.
Oh, wonderful. Nothing better in the world.
Meet Moogie, the lion cub. When I was a little boy, my mum took me to see a film called Born Free, which had a huge impact on me, and it had a huge impact on the whole world. I wasn't a particularly bookish boy, but I went off and I read that book, Born Free, and I read the next book, Living Free, and I read the next book, Forever Free. And now, years later, I've come here, exactly where that story started, to find out what its legacy is.
Born free as the wind blows.
Born Free told the true story of how Elsa the lioness, who'd been orphaned as a cub, was hand-reared by George Adamson and his wife Joy in Kenya before being set free.
Live free, and beauty surrounds you.
Elsa's successful release was a triumph, but also heartbreaking for George and Joy, who'd grown so close to her, and for all of us who were so captivated by the story.
'Cause you're born free.
George Adamson went on to release more than 30 lions after Elsa. But following his death in 1989, his camp was abandoned and reclaimed by the bush. Now, a quarter of a century later, that camp has been rebuilt, fueled by one dream: to bring lions back to a landscape from which they've all but disappeared. The Born Free legend has always meant a lot to me. To the man behind this mission, it means a lot more. For nearly 20 years, I've been friends with Tony Fitzjohn, ever since we released Nina, a zoo elephant, back into the wild. For many years before that, Tony was George Adamson's right-hand man. Faithful to the last detail, Tony has rebuilt the camp he once shared with his mentor. All it needs now is lions. It's an historic mission fraught with risk, but I wouldn't miss it for the world. I'm now on my way to pick Tony up from the camp that is in Kora National Park in a remote region of Kenya. As a child, I'd looked at photographs and wondered what Kora was really like. It's hard to believe that I'm finally here, and that soon we'll be collecting the first orphaned lion cub.
Hello, Bush.
Hi.
How are you?
Lovely.
This is exciting, isn't it?
Isn't it? I'm excited, I'm nervous, I feel a bit sick. It's 25 years since we had our last lions here.
We're collecting the cub from Old Joggy, a private game reserve that's 140 miles from here.
Is it just an added excitement to switch to lions, or is it because of your history?
It's everything. It's the history in the 24 years I've been away. Lions themselves are becoming an endangered species. And it's only in the centre of some very well protected areas or national parks you still get lions. But to be able to do something for lions again, in my world, if there's a gap or an offer to do something, you just go for it. You can't say no.
At Old Joggy, we are met by Jamie Gamer, the wildlife and security manager who's been looking after the orphaned cub.
Jamie, hi. Meet Martin. Martin Clunes, Jamie Gamer.
How you doing? Nice to meet you too. Where's the lion cub?
He's a way away from here.
Is he?
Yeah, sort of maybe 20 kilometres on the other side of the reserve. So we've got a bit of a drive. I hope you don't mind.
No.
Might see a few bits and pieces on the way.
Old Joggy is a 60,000-acre private game sanctuary for some of East Africa's most endangered wildlife. Thanks to an electric fence, the reserve is protected against poaching, allowing the wildlife to flourish. Although elephant and rhino get most of the publicity, lions in Africa are facing an equally serious crisis. There are around 500,000 elephants left on the continent. There are only 30,000 lions. If something isn't done, they could die out in the wild in less than 10 years. Jamie named the cub Moogie after the place he was found.
Come on, young man. Come on, Moogie. Come on.
Gosh, he's already looking pretty male, isn't he?
He is, yeah. And certainly his behaviour as well. You can see this shyness actually, we've sort of kept that on purpose because the idea is to rehabilitate him. So he's certainly not used to a lot of people.
Look, he's playing hide and seek.
Hi, boy. There's Jamie.
Look at that, he knows Jamie.
Okay. It's alright. It's a terrible thing to have to.
Hey, Mookie. Look, boy, my God.
He has got some nice claws and teeth on him now, and he does bite you and scratch you every now and again.
Yeah.
He's much more substantial than I thought he was going to be.
Well, he was just
Tiny.
3 weeks old.
Just a fluff ball.
It's been great watching him sort of grow up.
So he's how old now?
5.5 months.
He's lovely.
Yeah.
He's lovely.
Moogie washed up on a riverbank after a flash flood.
And to be honest with you, the person who knows more about this than any of us is Tony. So contacted Tony, can you take him? Please take him. And fortunately, he's sort of re-establishing Cora.
Because you two know each other anyway, don't you?
Well, I know his dad.
Oh, I see.
And he said, Jamie's got this lion cub, so didn't need any more encouragement.
Tony's credentials for releasing lions are impeccable. This world-famous YouTube clip of Christian, the lion that filmmaker Bill Travers brought to George Adamson, was the first that Tony helped introduce into the wilderness in Kenya. Christian and Tony became great mates. That was back in the 70s. But the experience and the connection has left its mark.
What's it like, Tony, having another one?
I was going to say it reduces me to tears, but it's wonderful. Yeah.
Does it really?
Yeah. I've been doing wild dogs and rhinos and elephants and all sorts of things for 25 years. And
You've always wanted these, haven't you?
Just for the journey, just give him something to keep him calm.
Give him a tablet and some food or something.
Yeah, and some food or something. And that's his little travel crate.
It's time for Jamie to say goodbye to the cub he's looked after for the last 4 months.
I'm delighted, but quite sad.
We will do our very, very best.
Yeah, no, we'll come and see him. Anyway, no, it's the best thing for him, I'm tough.
Next stop, Cora. A piece of wildlife history. And I can't wait to see what Moogie makes of his new home.
When the removal men came round to give me a quote, one guy said, "I've never